At this point, I'm looking at trying to figure it out. I'm looking forward, I'm looking backward in this kill chain.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what happened.
All right.
So we're logging into this console from one of our partners, Lancope. And we're going into their StealthWatch product, and we're clicking on here, and we're looking at this worm tracker. So Chris, let me show you a couple things. One is you'll notice that we are not just presenting IP-level information. We're providing user-level information.
Now, I've never seen that before, because usually when I look at a SIM tool or a NetFlow collector, this is NetFlow, right?
Yeah, that's NetFlow.
So when I look at one of those tools, you're usually looking at, source and destination addresses, and it's kind of a confusing view for our analysts.
Yeah, so what we've done as part of this PX grid thing you're talking about, we're doing context sharing. With our ICE thing, we're sharing information out with our partner. Very generous of us. And we're sharing this information out, and so they can translate this IP information into user level. So we do all the NAT stitching and all that kind of mumbo jumbo.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we did this, and what we found out is, Chris, that you were the source of infection. So
Wait, so hold on there for a minute. How do you know for a fact that, like, John didn't infect my machine?
Well, because this picture says otherwise. No, the point is we're looking at this, and the way we do the analysis, we're using NetFlow data and stuff like that. And so we look at a window and says, hey, we see somebody talking to somebody, do a file transfer, and then something else happens, and there's this whole sequence of events. And so we saw that kind of happening from you, but when we looked on the other side of you, there was nothing else, so we deemed that you're the source.
All right.
The other thing I want to share with you, Chris, that I don't know, this may be a little awkward, but it looks like you may have tried to infect your bosses. This Mr. Chambers and Pankaj sound familiar? Anyway,
yeah, I know those guys.
So let's look at this information here. So we go click on John, and then now, mind you, we're going real deep now. We're like flow level information. And so you'll see here again a bunch of ICMP. This all the ping sweep support schemes.
Okay.
So your system's sitting here trying to find the next like juicy target, and then it goes up here and it does this network file share. So you're moving malware over to the good guys, and that's where we were like, that doesn't look right. That doesn't. We need to stop that. Right?
Okay.
And so now at this point we've gone through the discovery. We've figured out kind of what we think's happening. We then kind of look at further investigation, and we find out that you're the source of infection. And now we need to take this information and put it into action.
That's what I was going to ask you. So how do you use this then to either fix my machine or stop this from happening again?
That's an excellent question. And so at this point, we're moving into our defend section.
Okay.
Because that sounds like what we want to do. We're security people. So we're going into now, what I'm showing you is this ICE security console. This is the policy console that's basically saying, I want to make a change and I want to heighten my defenses. And so what I'm looking at here is there's a group of executives that are going to talk to another group of executives. And what we just figured out based on our investigation is that they can talk. They just shouldn't file transfer all this bad mojo.
Through those certain protocols.
Through those certain protocols. So what we need to do is we say, okay, when an executive's talking to an executive, we need to control some of that.
Okay.
And so we're going in and we're adding this policy we call our malware prevention. Pretty good name, huh? Yeah.
It is
so
a good name.
we go here and we save this off. And so if you look at this, Chris, what we're saying is there's probably no business appropriate need to do this type of behavior. And so we're going to stop it.
And so you're able to categorize a set of behaviors represented by these line items to what you call an overall malware prevention security group control.
So as part of our whole risk mitigation, you can be a risky guy. If you're infecting your other guys, that's not good. So let's stop it.
All right.
Not all communication. I want to let you email and I want to let you do some other things, but not this. So when I go up here and I hit this push, what I'm doing is I'm pushing policy out to these systems. And the thing that's pretty interesting about this, Chris, is that when I hit this button, magic's going to happen. It's going to push this information out to our security devices, and it's also going to push this information out to our routers, our switches, and our access points. So again, we got the perimeter covered, and we got the internal access layer covered. And so this is really going to solve the problem that we saw here.
Wow, so just like that, you push policy down not only to the firewall, but you pushed it down to our routers and our switches as well.
Exactly. So we've taken care of the perimeter use case and the lateral transmission use case.
Wow, that's pretty powerful, Joel.
I think so too.
So Joel, before I let you go,
okay,
and I appreciate you helping me out here. And by the way, don't forget this machine needs to get fixed. So I need you to get on that.
I'll get on my yeah.
But so let me just let's go back to let's explain what happened. So I got infected. I was outside the infrastructure. I came in.
Right.
And because you guys are monitoring the totality of our infrastructure, including our network, our data center, you saw that my machine was behaving in a strange way.
Exactly.
You got an alert. You were able to augment the value of that alert with other information like who I was, what my machine was, et cetera, where I was located.
Exactly.
Call me up. And ultimately, you're able to do further forensics analysis on exactly what happened, to figure out where else that malware might have spread. And then the last thing is you're able to actually quickly or more dynamically fix the problem.
Exactly. And as our Olympics friends told us, the threat is much worse these days. And so we can protect you from a lot of things, but using the power of the products and the process together, that really is all about protection.
Well, Joel, thank you very much. I really appreciate your help. And
I'll see you next. I'll see you next Christmas.
We'll see you next holiday.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So for those who want to dive a little bit deeper into how we're putting together some of these different products and solutions to deliver that kind of a demo, we actually invite you to join us at our booth, and we've got not only this particular demo running, but several other demos in addition to specific tutorials we're running over the course of the week around all of our various product lines within Cisco. So just to wrap it up and make sure I keep everybody on time this afternoon, we're focusing our energies on helping you do a better job of defending, discovering, and remediating the different attack types that we're seeing out there. We fully recognize that our attackers are becoming more and more sophisticated, that our defenses are more under attack than they've ever been. And by bringing together the power of the cloud, the network infrastructure, as well as our security appliances that are coming together in a platform-oriented fashion, we believe we can deliver the right type of security for the future models that we're going to need to generate. So with that, enjoy the rest of the conference, and we look forward to talking to you throughout the week. Thank you.